How do you pronounce your name?
So it's called it's Rachit.
Ratchet.
Yeah.
Ratchet. Okay.
Yeah.
So hi, Ratchet. Really glad to have you here. So we are recording. We're streaming. This is a PhoenixOne Retro Sprint meeting. We do combine these, Ratchet, because it's the end of the sprint and it's the start of a new sprint. And
Okay.
we could have lots of meetings, but we try to squeeze it, at least for this project, for this team, for the PhoenixOne team. We try to squeeze it into a short meeting, and then elsewhere we try to code more in the parent sessions.
Okay.
So the retro, so you're familiar with agile methodologies, right? I think you
Yeah.
said
Correct.
yeah. So I don't need to explain much to you, but I might just explain how we do it because every team does it differently.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of activity this week, this past sprint. There was the people we have at Agile Ventures, we have a weekend collaboration channel. This is usually for people who can't really join during the week, and a couple people, Peter and Mike, who are relatively new to React. They wanted a project to work on that wasn't some tickets. Actually, they wanted some tickets that weren't too complex. And I told them, well, we got this thing project, which is so it's just really the repo set up right now and some wireframes and a bunch of user stories. And that's really all it is right now. And so I just kind of created some tickets for them. For the front end, because the front end is in React, the back end is in Elixir and Phoenix. Have you heard of Elixir and Phoenix?
I haven't really worked on it. Not heard much.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Primarily myself have been working. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Rishi. Yeah, it's kind of like Rails, but it's in a compiled functional language.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay. Okay.
really nice. The syntax is similar to Ruby. Elixir is, and Phoenix is akin to Rails.
Okay.
So it's not object oriented. Let me just show you the repo for the front end, which is what they were working on. This was Mike and Peter. So it's this one here, SFN client. And I just created a bunch of tickets for them, and they kind of just went through them just over this weekend, and it was really good. Yeah. So just in case they watched the recording, I just want to thank them because they did a really good job. Yeah, and already Peter's even adding more tickets here that he can work on. So actually, this might be potentially the Think for Needs project or product, or it's eventually going to be like a platform. It might be something that you might be interested in helping us out to manage as a product. Here's one of the initial mock-ups done by one of our contributors, Brent Marty. And yeah, so this is for the artist page profile. And so the whole point of Sync for Needs is for essentially anyone could post a recording of their performance of them just singing. It could be a cappella, it could be just them by themselves, or it could be like a band, or them with a guitar or anything. And the point of that is for them to raise money for, it could be for themselves, any need that they have, or for someone else. So it could be like someone famous raising money for a cause, or just anyone raising money for their neighbor, and that's essentially the point there. And hopefully this is somewhat clear. And so, yeah, we created user stories for these, and then we shifted to, so the idea was to initially come up with the first product for Championer. So Championer is the nonprofit. It's the American nonprofit. And then Sync for Needs was and is the initial prototype or product. And I guess what I might show you is if we go back to PhoenixOne. So PhoenixOne was the channel because the nonprofit was created transparently, almost like open source creation of a nonprofit within Agile Ventures. And I might show you this to give you a better picture of what Championer is. So I created this graph like last week. Someone asked me a question. So Championer, Championer is a nonprofit. It's the American nonprofit. Agile Ventures, you know, they have developers or people like you who want to manage products. And Agile Ventures provides infrastructure support for other charities or open source projects and volunteer developer support. So they provide that to other charities or nonprofits. And because here at Agile Ventures, I'm a mentor at Agile Ventures. We have developers who are looking for real experience on real projects so that it can help them get a job, you know. And
correct.
And also we have help from everyone, from very senior people who are helping to mentor or just to contribute. So all types of people helping out. And then so you have your projects or your charities and Championer over here. So Harrow Community Network is the very first charity that was helped by Agile Ventures. Championer, so Championer 1, so I know this might get confusing. Championer 1 is a project name for the championer.org website. And so about 8 months ago, we shifted to first creating the Championer website. And let me just read this here. The point of Championer is to build tech products, apps, platforms like Sync for Needs, embedded systems that directly help those in need and like the disadvantaged. So that's sort of there. And I can show you, let's see, I can show you the website. It's so right now it's on staging. We're working on Dockerizing it and putting it up on Google Cloud Platform, but it's Championer 1 staging. And so this is all done by volunteers. I review the tickets. I create the tickets. Sometimes I write very beginner friendly tickets to help people get started. Staging in the Heroku app. And so this is the staging of the championer.org website. And it's really close to production ready. Just needs really the content filled in. And we got, hi Okoth, how are you? Can you hear us, Okoth?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you now. I'm just explaining how everything works around here to Ratchet, who is very experienced with Agile, and he's a product manager. So I'm just showing. Yeah, so this is the website. Okoth helped out with it. And yeah, see, but like you can see that this is still lorem ipsum, that this will be one of the last things that we change. Yeah, so mission, volunteers, donate, products. Yeah, and I do need to actually update the staging website because we've had several tickets from Occult and Daniel recently that need to go into there. Was there a question?
No. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, and this is the board for that website, Champion One. And as you can see, Occult has added some tickets here. He's working on another one right there. So Daniel has been doing. Daniel is another contributor who, recently he added the hamburger menu, but yeah, that's still not in staging yet. Yeah, so that's sort of an overview. I will show you the user stories for Sync for Needs. And if I go back to the channel, and we have several things pinned here that are helpful. And so that is on Pivotal Tracker right here. So let me just open that up. And are you familiar with the Pivotal Tracker, Richard?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, now I'm able to hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you familiar with the Pivotal Tracker?
I'm not familiar with it, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's
organized.
Yep. So these are a lot of the initial stories for user stories for Sync for Needs. Yeah. And so these are the more higher level user stories and features that, they incorporate the back end and the front end too.
Okay.
Yeah. While these are just the boards for the repos, like this one here is just a board for the front end repo.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's sort of a big overview. Let me post that link here so you can see that. A little more convenient. You might take a look at those.
Yeah, that would be great. I can take a look at them.
Yeah, and so I'll just wrap up this thing here. Actually, I guess I'll write the notes later since we kind of used up a lot of time there. Just for Sprint-33, I might say, yeah, we're gonna try to push Champion One to production on GCP. This is just leftover that I got the synchronies.org domain a couple months ago for $1.06 for Black Friday. In America, they have sales like that. But yeah, new prototype. I'll deal with that next time. And yeah, so we've been working on the chat. Yeah, so it was with like Occult and Daniel. Initially, it was myself, Joseph, and Matt working on the chat for the integrated chat for this website here. And so we'll continue doing that this upcoming Monday. Occult, is that time still good for you? Let's see, what time was it? 4 p.m. UTC on Monday? Occult.
Okay, that's around 7 p.m. Okay, it should be okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So we'll continue doing that. And then next week we'll continue working on Dockerizing Champion One, pushing it up to Google Cloud Platform. I'll add a couple notes here about all the good work that everyone did and post the notes. But for right now, I do want to sort of wrap up, but also leave it open to Ratchet if you have any other questions.
So yeah, I guess the good starting point for me would be to go through that pivot and look at all the user stories and what is the current status of them. I think that will be a good starting point, and then maybe I can take some of your help. You can just guide me as to what I can pick up probably, and if there is something missing in the requirements or you need mock-ups or things like that.
Yeah, Yeah, all of that would be useful. Be very helpful. Thank you, Rashid. And so I guess, Okoth, did you have anything that you wanted to address or talk about before we wrap up?
Oh, no, currently, no. Not really.
Okay. Okay, so if you just like rewind, I was just giving Ratchet a overview of everything. And we just started, I think, maybe 8 minutes before you joined us.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do want to thank everyone. Thank you, Rashid. Thank you, Okoth. Really good to have Ratchet on board, and Okoth, you've been doing a lot of good work, so thank you. And I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.